Rolling on 3, 2, 1, and start. Check it out. Check it out. Behind me, our future. 5-6 weeks from now, this is going to be done. They've been working on it 24 hours a day. Chairman Andy has guaranteed me that they're only using the best quality Sheffield steel in this stadium. No imitation Lego pieces at all. More importantly, this is our key, because we'll go from 6,000 capacity to 14,000 capacity, and that's going to bring in match day income. That money that we so badly need to be going from a ninth place team in the championship to a playoff team in the championship. This is the bump we need. Our hope, our key, our future is right behind me. But that's a story for next year. This episode is our season 7 wrap-up episode. It's for those of you out there that like the geeky numbers a little bit and the statistics and a behind-the-scenes look. We're going to take a look at the past season and then take a quick point look out at what we're going to try to do over the course of the summer for the upcoming season. I hope you'll stick around. It should be a fun episode. See you on the other side of the intro. Hey everybody, it's about 2 weeks since our disappointing end to the season, but again, we have to be overall pretty happy with what we're able to accomplish this year. This is our end of the season look. We'll just kind of randomly go through things. It's going to be kind of a wandering look at what happened in the season, and then we'll point a little bit towards some of the steps we've taken already to get us ready for next year. So as I kind of film this, it is May 15th, 2027. Our season ended a couple of weeks ago. We've had quite a bit happen, as usual, in the off season here. We're just going to kind of run through some of the emails that are of interest here. Morgan Jeffs, one of our 2 strikers, has been inducted into our best 11 now. He now has 66 appearances, 24 goals for us, which really goes to show you that we haven't had much luck with strikers if he's one of our best 2 after 7 years with those numbers. So, but he's there. So that's good. He's still a loan-in player, of course, but will be back for us next year as well. We had our end of the season awards. These are always kind of interesting, I think. Kind of what I would expect to a degree. Tom Holmes, our fans player of the season, he's the captain, our center back. Very, very good season. He only scored 1 goal this year, whereas last year he scored 7 on set pieces. So I think that points to us being a little bit more diligent about how we approach our set pieces. One factor behind that might be the fact that we had Lakatos, who was really good with his head last year, who could draw some of the defensive attention away and I think free up Holmes. Whereas this year, Lakatos was total garbage, so he just wasn't playing that much, which I think that allowed teams to really concentrate on Holmes, perhaps. And Simon Walsh, our central defensive midfielder, was close to Holmes with 32%. I kind of thought Walsh would get it. I think he was more valuable this year. And then, Kirby, interesting enough, who was really hot and cold this year, ended up with 22% of the vote. But again, these are players that have been here for a while, so the fans know them and stuff like that, so that would make sense. Marco Rabuanu gets our goal of the season. Take a look at it. Let me know what you think here. I thought we had a few that were better. I know there was one that Kirby hit from, I thought, farther distance that was bar down. But here it is. Lakatos feeds it off to Rabuano. One-timer, top right corner. I mean, certainly impressive, but I never quite get what they do to pick out the best ones there. Signing of the season, Johan Cardinale, our goalkeeper extraordinaire, who ended up with a 6.78 rating, 43 appearances, 48 goals conceded, worth 1.4 million. His ratings and numbers are still going up, even at age 33, so it looks like we should be able to get another year or 2 out of him at least. And then our young player of the season, as we would expect, Simon Walsh, 21 years old, really looks to be our standout at defensive midfield, and so really happy to have him there. I just wish we could get his natural fitness up with maybe like steroids or some kind of something or else. But anyway, that's his one little drawback, but it's not that big of a deal. He just kind of gets tired at the end of matches. And moving forward, though, let's keep this going. Club expectations. Now, I'm not going to get too excited about this because if you recall, last year, this meant nothing. Last year, Chairman Andy said, we want you just to avoid relegation. And then a month later, he said, by the way, we want you to finish mid-table. So now he's starting at mid-table. I don't trust him. I really just don't trust him. I don't trust any chairman for whatever reason. So he's given us this mid-table. He's saying he wants us to be in the top half next season. So we'll see what happens with this, though. Otherwise, everything is pretty straightforward there. Squad dynamics, everybody's happy. That's good. We had an end-of-season team meeting, and I told them I want us to be mid-table, and everybody said that's exactly where we want to be. So we all sang Kumbaya, and everybody's on their summer breaks right now. So that's all good and well. I'm trying to move some players. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, yes. We did have slightly bad news. So we have the upgrade to the training facilities has started. It's going to cost $1.8 million, and it's going to be 6 months and done. That should get us to 2.5 stars, maybe even a locker room with chairs and stuff in it. That's a big deal. That would be pretty cool. Maybe I can get an office that isn't black and white. I'm dreaming a little bit here, but we'll see what they improve. However, check this out. Expansion to youth facilities canceled. So it was as I anticipated, was that we were going to be able enough money for one of the two. I am glad that they didn't scrap the training facilities, that instead they scrapped the youth facilities. But it is kind of frustrating because our youth, we have had no youth players of any note whatsoever come through, ever. I mean, they're just all terrible. So it would have been nice to get that. But I'll take the training facilities over it, and that's, I think, more important to me at this point. So that's good. That'll get us to 2.5 stars, which is a little bit more progress, and I think I might just ask for these next year. But we'll see, because we have the stadium income coming in, too. It'd be really nice to be able to get both of those going at the same time. The board requested to meet to increase our youth level, and they agreed to it. So they're going to agree to upgrade our youth level to a level 3 setup. And I thought the higher number was better, because if we look at our club info facilities here, right now it says our youth level is 4. Now we said we're going to upgrade it to 3. I thought 10 was the highest and 1 was the lowest, but that's cool then. That means we were better than I thought, and we're going to be even better than that. So maybe next year, we have excellent academy coaching and fairly basic youth recruitment. Adequate youth facilities. Yeah, I think we still got a long ways to go before we get a player that's going to be any good for our team from our youth program. But we can dream. We can dream. Certainly we can dream. And I think that's pretty much it in terms of what has happened then. We'll come back in a little bit. I'm going to move forward a couple weeks because we still have like end of season awards and stuff like that to take a look at. So we'll do that. And then we'll take a look at some of our moves. So I'll be back in a couple weeks to wrap up this episode. So we'll pause here. Actually, I lied because it's still May 15th. I forgot. I want to take a little bit of a look at some of the past performances of the past season in terms of our statistics and stuff like that. Let's take a quick look at our table again, just for posterity's sake. There we are, 9th place, 77 points. So 12 points better than last year and 4 points out of 6th place in the playoff spot. So we just missed the playoffs. We need to get 4 points better. Goal differential was 13, so I think we can improve on that as well. But the big thing I think that's really coming at us here is if we take a look at our team detailed here, and we go down to salary per year. Here we have Aston Villa at the top with $51.5 million spent on salary last year. Then you come all the way down here, the second to last place team in salary is Coventry at 6.8 million, and there we are at 4.8 million, 2 million less than the lowest team in the league. So obviously that's why we need the stadium, and it does create that catch-22, because the other way out of this is if we could buy players, develop them, and then sell them, right? Or even develop youth players and sell them. But with our youth facilities and our training facilities so low, it's been really hard for us to develop players and improve their value and move them on for more than what we got them. So it's kind of a catch-22. You know, we need more money to have better facilities, but to have more money, we need better facilities. So we really need the stadium and the better facilities. So it's a little bit of a grind, I think, in terms of a process there, but we'll keep hacking away at it here. But there is the team kind of things. I'm looking at average possession. We do try to play a possession-based football, and we were 8th place in the championship in terms of possession. I'm trying to think if there's other things that might be interesting from this one here. Goals, let's take a look at that. I think we were 9th in goals scored. And how about goals conceded? Chances created. Wow, look at that. 134 chances created, first in the league. Isn't that interesting? So to me, that would say we need to increase the quality of our chances. Let me know what you think. But if we had that many chances and we're only 8th in the league in scoring, we should be converting more of these or improving their quality. So maybe we need to work the ball in the box more, get better finishers, or something like that. Let me know. That's an interesting. I didn't know that. That's really, really interesting. How about shots on target? We were 8th at 50%. Not significantly, horribly different there. So that's interesting, I thought. Here we go. Goal defending, conceded. We were tied for 11th with 53 goals conceded. So we could tighten up our defense a little bit. That kind of makes sense. Although I do kind of like who we've got. Average attendance. This one's always fun to look at. Sheffield Wednesday with 30,000 average attendance. Second to last team was Charlton with 14,500. And there we are. 6,300, 100% attendance. 23 sellouts out of 23 home matches. So we're filling up every seat, which makes me wonder, like once we get the 14,000 seat capacity stadium in, how many of those seats are we going to fill? You know, are we at 6,364 every match, but our max is 8,000? That's kind of a bummer. But if we could get 12,000 fans in, that would double our capacity. That would be really, really nice. Let's take a quick look at some player detailed stats here. We did not have, I want to look at goals scored. Yeah. Malthus Summer, talk about a promising future. Once he sorted his feet out after he came in, he only appeared in 24 matches, had 14 goals for us, enough for 8th in the league. Now, if you double that, that would be 28 goals. That would put him right up there with Luis Suarez for Aston Villa for 1st in the league. So compared to how much he played and how much he scored, he's on a top of the league goal scoring pace there. Nobody else even close, although Jeff's had 11th place, so technically he would be down here with Jimmy Dumas. Is that it? Sorry. Dumas, I guess. Couldn't resist. I just couldn't resist. I should edit that out. But anyway, yeah, so Jeff's would be in 20th place, tied for 20th place. But exciting. So that's exciting to see what summer might bring for us next year. I want to look at the ratings here. Really not so easy to see this here. Where is that? Here we go. Average rating. Luis Suarez for Aston Villa again had an amazing year. 27 goals with a 7.39 rating. Simon Walsh was 11th in the league at 7.19, but I think he's benefiting from that defensive midfielder bonus. And then Malthus Summer again, 7.13, even though he only appeared in 24 matches. And the first 8 of those appearances were absolutely rubbish. So he could really bring a lot to our team here if we can keep him healthy for a whole year and keep him scoring like he was in the back half of the season. So really exciting potential there. Otherwise, nobody. Tom Holmes fell out of this. Kirby fell out of this. So again, I think that reflects a little bit of kind of our inconsistent and just some of the struggles we had performing to our capabilities at times. And I kind of put that on me in terms of just tactics and form and stuff like that. So some things to learn and some things to improve there. I wonder if there's anything else here that's interesting. Shots. Nope, we don't have anybody there. That makes sense. Shots on target. We're getting Aaron Rowe, our right winger. That's interesting, but he wasn't all that proficient out there. I think that's probably enough of the statistics and players and stuff like that to take a look at the season. Now let's pause, and I'm going to go ahead a couple of weeks, and then we'll take a look a little bit of what we've done in the first month or so of the offseason here, what we're going to try to do in the rest of the offseason. So I'll be back momentarily. So we've pushed ahead a couple of weeks now, and I have kind of an update, I think, on what the plan is for the summer. So roughly speaking, this is probably the quietest summer we've had in the past in 7 years, really, because most of our loaned in players are coming back, and we seem to be pretty well covered at almost every position. We will need kind of a backup goalkeeper because our backup goalkeeper from Chelsea doesn't want to come back with us. We'll need a defender in the middle, a left winger, and a striker. But most everything else is set. However, the other thing to talk a little bit about is that I'm thinking on selling Fiorini, who is valued at $4 million. We have 2 offers in at $4 million for him already. He's really good. His numbers are really good, but he just hasn't performed that well, and his best position is attacking midfielder, where we just don't really have a need for him there. So I'm thinking the $4 million would probably do a couple things. It would give us enough money at the end of the season to upgrade both our youth facilities and our training facilities. And I think we can fill it in. Plus, it would get $8,000 off the wages there. And I think we can fill in somebody that's going to be around this level that would be a lot cheaper. The other person I want to get rid of along those lines is Gold here, who is costing us $8,000 per year. He's 31 years old. Another good, he just didn't perform that well for us, and he's getting old. So, and we'd like to get the wages off, and I think we can maybe get close to $800,000 for him. Seems like people are nibbling around there for that. So that would give us almost $5 million in the bank and help our budget and solve a lot of problems. It would also reduce a lot of salary there too. So I'm thinking about that. That would mean that we would need some more midfielders, but we need maybe a half dozen players. I do have some good news along those lines in terms of transfers. So if we look at our transfer history coming in, I'm super happy about this one. Where is it? Future. Oh, here we are, already there. Zemyarski, we talked about as our left back coming in. Stuart Quirk, who was with us for the past 2 seasons on loan and just kept playing more and more this year. His contract ran up at Manchester United. He signed a 3-year contract with us for under £2,000 per week. He performed over a 7 rating in 22 appearances for us during the regular season last year. 3-star cardability, 3.5 to 4.5 potential ability. Look at the physicals. I mean, all greens. Technique is a little bit suspect, but heading of 12, marking of 13, tackling of 17, positioning of 13. Good mentals except for composure, which is just adequate, and positioning is good too. So he's played really well for us. I'm super excited that he signed with us. We got him for free because his contract ran up with Manchester United. So super happy about that. Other than that, these players are more kind of younger players with low current ability, high potential that we just signed to kind of see if we might be able to develop. So just spending like £1,000 per week on them to try to develop them a little bit. But yeah, Fiorini has offers coming in for $4 million, which I'm wondering. I'd be curious to hear what people think about that. So that's kind of roughly our plan, to tweak, maybe generate some cash and then replace some midfielders. We'll need some kind of some other players at striker and stuff like that, but we're kind of fishing around. So that's the plan for the rest of the year. And then we'll be back now at the early part of July, once the calendar clicks over, to see how we've done so far, and then address the future, kind of our episode 0, looking at the new season, what the goals are. Oh, yes, that's right. I forgot. We did have one piece of bad news. Our stadium. And it sounds ominous, but it's not that bad. It's been delayed 3 months. It's not going to be done until September. I kind of wondered if something like that might happen because Chairman Andy seemed to be promising a lot. And when we saw it a month ago, there was a hole in the ground, and then, we just saw it like 2 weeks ago, and there still didn't look like it was really close to being ready. And yeah, it wasn't. So it's not going to be done until September sometime. So we're going to spend 3 more months at Liberty Way, which is actually maybe whatever. What can we do? Nothing to be done. So that brings us to the end of this episode. Thanks so much for listening in. If there's anything I missed and you want to hear about, let me know and I'll include it in episode 0 going forward. We did not get any awards, no manager of the year or anything like that. As far as I know, I think they just went by. Simon Walsh did get young player of the year in the championship, as I anticipated. So really excited about his potential if we ever had players that got better while they were here. But his value actually has gone up to $1.1 million now. So, maybe he is getting better. I'll have to take a look at that. But anyway, that brings us to the end, our year end. Season 7 is in the books. It is a wrap, and we're on to Season 8. We'll see you on Tuesday for our next episode as we look forward to our 3rd season in the championship. Take care, everybody. Stay safe. We'll see you next time.